morning. It's May 30, Memorial Day, and we celebrate this day as a country, honoring and remembering those who have given their lives in service to our freedom. And our church, you may or may not know this, but in the late 50s, 1950s, when Travis Air Force Base was Travis Army Airfield, we were founded as a church by the men and women who served our country. And they had been traveling down to the Vallejo area for a church, and God laid it upon their hearts to have a church here in Vacaville. And so Orchard Avenue Baptist Church is a result of that. Well, today I want to take you on this Memorial Day back to Joshua chapter 3 and chapter 4. Joshua, that great military commander, just an incredible man of God who led the children of Israel. He penned some incredible words that God laid on his heart, and it's about memorials. And so in chapter 3, God's doing a great work of Joshua chapter 3, leading the people out of the country upon which they were, but they had to cross the Jordan River. And depending on the time of the year that you may have visited the Jordan, if you've been to Israel, most trips include a visit at the Jordan River. And of course, many people are baptized there in remembrance of what Jesus had done. But depending on that time of the year, it could be anywhere from a small river to an overflowing spring flood time. And it could be a gigantic task to get across. Well, that's where the children of Israel find themselves. And so in Joshua 3, verse 9, Joshua said to the children of Israel, "Come here and hear the words of your Lord." And Joshua said, "By this you shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Hivites and the Perizzites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Jebusites." That's a lot of sites. God is going to drive these people out, and he's going to rescue the nation of Israel, the children of God, by crossing the Jordan River. And so this happens, and God miraculously allows them to cross over. And then we pick it up in chapter 4. And it came to pass when all the people had completely crossed over the Jordan River that the Lord spoke to Joshua, saying, "Take for yourselves 12 men from the people, one man from every tribe." And so he brings these 12 men together, and he tells them in the following verses to get a large stone. And if you go down to verse 5, "And Joshua said to them, Cross over before the ark of the Lord your God in the midst of the Jordan, and each one of you take up a stone on his shoulder, and according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, that this may be a sign among you when your children ask in times to come, what do these stones mean?" And so literally they picked up a boulder, a stone, the biggest they could carry on their shoulder, and they take it across the Jordan and they pile them up on the other side as a memorial. And he says, this is the reason, because in future generations, your children are going to say, "Why is there a big pile of rocks here? What is the purpose? What is the meaning?" And they said, verse 7, "Then you shall answer them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off, dried up, stopped before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it crossed over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial to the children of Israel forever." And so the testimony is that this memorial, this pile of rocks, was to be a reminder of what God did for them. The miraculous crossing of the Jordan River by the nation of Israel, a pile of stones as a memorial. Well, today as we celebrate Memorial Day, and what we do in our church is Memorial Day. We frequently use the cross, we frequently use the American flag, but let's be a reminder that the men and women that gave their lives are deserving of our memorial. And, the cross is a memorial to what Jesus did for us. I know of a church that they were converted from a Seventh-day Adventist church to a different type of church, a non-Jesus believing church. And the first thing they did was remove the giant stained glass window in the front of the building where the cross was. It was a stained glass, beautiful piece of art with a cross in it. And they took out the cross because they aren't remembering. They are not a church that remembers or celebrates the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ. Well, we do, and we're proud of that. And so today, we are also proud to be celebrators of those men and women who have sacrificed and served, and those who ultimately have given their lives for our freedom. And so if you're a veteran or you have a family member that gave their life in service to our country, we want to remember you and we want to say thank you. God bless you.